Chapter 5 The Sacred Little Self. For it is God who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," who has shone in our hearts to give the light of knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. But we have this treasure in clay jars, so that it may be made clear that this extraordinary power belongs to God and does not come from us. 2 Corinthians 4, 6 and 7. You are sacred even when you're small, especially when you're small. The world tells us that we must be productive to be valuable, independent to be respected, and stoic to be spiritual. But God has never measured worth by power. From clay jars to mustard seeds, from babies in mangers to crucified prophets, the divine story always unfolds in fragility. So when you regress, when you feel tiny, helpless, soft, remember this: you are still holy, not in spite of your littleness, but through it. The image of God and the inner child. Christian theology teaches that we are made in the imago Dei, the image of God. But what does that mean for those of us who regress into childlike states? What if the sacred image isn't just reflected in strength or intellect, but also in need and gentleness and a deep yearning to be held? The sacred little self is not a mask. It's not something we become. It's something we remember. It's a truth too often buried under the rubble of survival. You are not less spiritual when you regress. You are closer to the source. You are returning to the truth that you are loved not for what you do, but for who you are. Undoing the lies of adulthood. Adulthood, especially under capitalism and patriarchy, teaches us that needing help is weakness. Expressing emotion is immaturity. Dependence is dangerous. Play is pointless. These are lies. The gospel undoes them at every turn. Jesus wept. Jesus napped. Jesus received care from women, from friends, even from angels. Jesus played with children, told stories, and invited us into joy. Age regression is not the refusal to grow. It is a holy protest against the myth that growth means losing softness. Your little self is not a failure of adulthood. It's a glimpse into the divine. The treasure in the jar. Paul's words in 2 Corinthians remind us we are fragile vessels, but the fragility contains the treasure. Our little selves, emotional, dependent, giggly, scared, are not obstacles to spirituality. They are the jars in which grace is carried. Regression reminds us that we are not God. We are not expected to hold everything together. We are allowed to fall apart, and in doing so, we invite love to hold us. To be small, to regress, is not to lose God. It is to discover God already on the floor with us, playing with blocks and wiping our tears. Reflection prompt. What would change if you believed your regressed self was sacred? How have you been taught to associate holiness with adulthood, discipline, and control? What if God was most delighted in the softest version of you? Prayer for the sacred little self. Tender God, you made me in your image, even the little me, even the soft, scared, giggly, needy parts. You don't despise my dependence. You delight in it. You call my softness holy. You see my regression not as a disorder, but as a doorway to deeper love. Help me honor the sacred little self inside. Help me love them as you do. Amen.